Hey everyone, how's it going today? Coach Alvarez here, back at you with another episode, Coffee with Coach. Hope you're up doing well, got the mind in the right place. If not, as always, let's put it in the right place. So it's been a minute again since I've done the last episode. Come across a lot of good different topics. One that I want to share with you guys today is one that I kind of had a talk. Well, not kind of. I did have a talk with my team last week, end of last week. I think kind of the week before, is a question that I was asking the team, the students, like in different classes. I wanted to get, their opinions, their responses, and see what they would say, because it's just something that I heard, right? And the question is would an average person do that? Okay. Now, to put it out there first, there's nothing wrong with being average if that's what you want to be. If you're just a person that wants to just coast, get by, barely getting ends to meet, paycheck to paycheck, health is average, below average, just everything around you is just average, and you're happy with that, then by all means, just scroll on and find something else to listen to. But if you're with someone that doesn't want to be average and you don't want to be put in a category as average in anything that you do, then you should just ask yourself, whatever that situation you're in or whatever you're about to do, would an average person do that? Now, for me, like I've told my students and I tell everyone around me, I'm not average, okay? I don't want to be put in that category. I don't want to be labeled like that. I don't want to be looked at like that. That's not who I am. That's not my personality. That's not my character. That's not, when I pass away and my time comes, I don't want people to look down at my gravesite or whenever that time, or wherever it is that I'm at, and be like, that was a cool average dude. Like everything he did was average. He didn't do anything great. He didn't do anything exceptional. He didn't help really anyone do anything. He just did ordinary average people stuff. Okay. If that was the case, like I would just live a very unfulfilling, to me, not for other people. This is just me. This is I'm just sharing my mindset on that. Like I would pass away a very unhappy person. Like, what did I do with my life? Why did I waste so much time and I'm not doing things or things that I could be better at and trying to improve? And one of the things that I'm always getting said about me is that I'm always busy. Like I always got to be doing something. I got to have a project. I got to have my hands into something. My mind is always, the wheels are always turning. Like what else can I do? And so it's very hard for me to sit still. I need to be better. Like there's books here, the things that I listen to, the things on the wall, like that's not average. The things that are on the wall behind me, those aren't average signs. You know what I mean? I got a Tom Brady thing. I got a gift from a birthday. Like, he's not an average dude. Like, the things that I want in my life, I don't want to be average, So I work really hard on trying to just do whatever I can in all areas to not be that way. I take care of my fitness. I take care of I don't have mental health, but I'm always improving like the mindset, like trying to make it stronger, make it better to where things get bad. I can handle bad situations. My students aren't average. My school, my academy, the way it looks isn't average. The cars, the house, everything, I'm not a millionaire. I don't make, there's a lot of people out there that have a lot more nicer things than me, but I have nicer things than a lot of other people too. So however you want to look at it, for me, it's just not average. So when there's a couple of things what brought this up. I had a student, I think it was week before, I think 2 weeks ago, was just asking me like, how am I able to do the things that I do? And that was the question. Like that was the answer, was like, well, I just basically just tell myself, like, if I sleep in today, would an average person sleep in? Would an average person hit the alarm clock and not get up? And the answer is yes. Well, I don't want to be average, so I get up, even when I don't want to get up. When I don't want to work out and I don't feel like it, I tell myself, man, would an average person skip their workout? The answer is absolutely yes, they'll skip their workout. So I'm not going to skip. I don't want to be put in that category, so I don't skip my workout. Would an average person eat this greasy cheeseburger with fries and drink this big Coke? You know, the average person would eat that. I don't want to be average, so I don't eat those kind of foods. You know, it's very, very simple, you know. So those are the things that help push and motivate me. And so it's not like I told one of my students, it's not that I'm better or I think that I'm better than people. It's just I do things better than most people, than the average person. I'm trying to do things better. I am doing things better. Like I gave an example the other day about the credit score. Okay, credit score is 800. That's not an average person credit score. It's not. Okay, I don't want my credit score to be average, so I work on that. I take care of those things. So I do the things necessary to do that, and I don't have an average credit score. I got a good one. I'm acquiring some new things and buying some new assets, and when they run my credit, everyone's attitude changes. You know, you can hear it in their voice how they're talking to me over the phone. You know, when you first call and you're inquiring about some things, it's just kind of like, yeah, you're just kind of going through the motions, and when they come back with your credit score, completely different tone. I love that. Okay, I love that. Like I worked hard for that, to not have an average credit score, and it pays big dividends for that, right? Like for the things that I want to get, you know, interest rates and everything else that comes with that, you know, pays off big time. So that was the answer to, you know, like how am I able to do all the things that I do? Like when it comes to my training, like I don't want to be average. I don't want my jiu-jitsu to be average. I don't want my black belt to be average. So I worked really hard on not having an average black belt, meaning I tested my black belt for all these years, and there's gold medals all over my walls in the school to show that that's not average. Number one ranked black belt in the Master 3 category from all age groups and weight classes, not age groups, but the weight classes. That's not average. You know, the amount of team trophies that we have in the school from all the work that my teams put in over the years, that's not an average. You're not going to walk into an average school and see those kind of trophies there like that. You're just not, because that's the mindset. I don't want my team, my business, anything that I do to be associated with average stuff, right? But that's me. Could be you too. Maybe it's not you. Maybe you want to be average and you're happy with that. Then by all means, be happy with that. But if you're not, you just need to ask yourself that question every time you're about to like talk yourself out of something. Because we all do. We all hit those stages and those moments where like, I don't feel like it. Then you tell yourself, you know, you ask yourself, would an average person do that? And then it should trigger and you should make the better choice. After I said that to a different class, one of the evening classes last week, I think a day or two went by anyways. Class is over, taking the tape off my hands, I'm sweating and kind of, you know, stretching out and just kind of cooling off a little bit after the class, and I had a student walk up to me, and you know, you can just kind of tell the way they were coming over. It was, you know, it was just different. So I look up and, hey, how's it going? You know, what's happening? And they sit down and they're just like, hey, you know that thing you said about ask yourself, would an average person do that? And I said, yeah, you know. And he goes, I just wanted to say thank you, because there was some decisions I had to make on certain things, and I just asked myself what you said to ask, and it changed my mind on what I was getting ready to not do. I didn't want to do a certain thing, and I asked myself, would an average person do that? And I don't want to be like that, so I showed up. I went and did what I was supposed to do, and that's it. Most people aren't going to like that. You know, they probably, I would say, you know, in class when I talk like that, they're just like, dude, we came here for jiu-jitsu, you know, not to get all this stuff. But it all relates. It all relates, because everything that you do off the mat, all is going to come back on the mat anyways. Meaning, let's say you eat bad, you're unhealthy, and you don't do any push-ups, and you don't run, you don't work out, you don't take care of your mental health and everything else, and then you come onto the mat and you want to train. It's going to show. It's going to affect the way you train. Man, dude. I had a student sit out all the rounds, a very uncharacteristic sit out on the rounds last week. And after class, I was like, man, what happened? You get hurt? It just, they didn't look good, and because they did the first round or two, I think it was. And they said they had pizza before class. They were hungry. And so they had pizza. And when those rounds kicked in and those really tough back and forth battles started happening, they started to feel sick. So they had to sit out on the rounds. So you get what I'm saying? Like, an average person would eat pizza before a workout like that. They just made a bad decision and they had to pay for that. I mean, they're literally pay for it in both ways. Like they had to sit out on the rounds. They couldn't train. They wanted to train, but they couldn't train because they felt sick. But they're also paying for this, and they couldn't get what they were paying for because they just made a bad decision on what they ate. And then afterwards, they're like, no more pizza. And I'm like, cool, no more pizza. Like, there's a time and a place for pizza, and before jiu-jitsu class, that's not the time or the place for it, right? So, all these things, man. I was talking to some young guys over the weekend, trying to help them out, just giving them some advice. I was like, you guys can take it for what it's worth, or you can just not listen to me and, whatever. But they're not used to getting this kind of free advice. I'm like, it's free advice. It's very good advice. And if you listen to it, you're going to help yourself and the people around me. Whether you decide to take the advice or not, it doesn't affect me one way or the other, because I'm going to do the things that I'm doing. So I'm going to win regardless. It just decides if you want to win. So we're talking about finances and credit and all this other stuff. And one of the guys, I asked him if he had a credit card, and he said no. He's 22. And I was like, man, you got to get one, man. Like, again, the average person thinks like a credit card is bad. Like, don't get one of those. I'll just pay cash and I don't want to get in debt. That's just a lack of discipline is what that is. For people that don't know how to take care and pay credit cards on time, it's just a lack of discipline, But I was like, he works out, he takes care of himself, and I'm like, all you got to do is treat it like you do your workouts. You show up on the workout days and you eat right and you take care of yourself. You just take care of the credit card the same way. I said, because you're going to need it to fix a car or get a nicer car, or when you get older and you meet someone and you want to have a family and buy a house. Like, you can't buy those things without credit. The bank's going to look at you and be like, dude, we can't lend you no money. You want how much? We can't give it to you. And actually, there's another person that I know that they need a nicer vehicle, and they haven't established enough credit yet so that they can't get one. So they're kind of stuck in the car that they have. And the car that they have, I mean, it's barely getting from A to B, but some people just don't know what they don't know. It's not really their fault. It's just the parents didn't really raise the kids right. They didn't really teach them things like they were supposed to teach them things, or maybe the parents just didn't know, so they don't know. And then it's just generational, right? Like, it's just generational things that you just don't know that, people should know, but so this person's kind of stuck in this position to where, like, they need, because you need a nice car, like not like a overly done it car, but you need a car that's going to get you, that you don't have to be thinking about, like, is it going to make it to work today? Am I going to make it back from work today? But in order to have those things, you got to have like good credit. You got to have a credit card. You got to have these things to work on. So anyways, ask yourself that. It's the beginning of the year, it's the middle of the month now, it's January 16th. And, just ask yourself, would an average person do that? And ask yourself, do you want to be put in that category? Is that how you want to be looked at by your peers, the people around you? And if the answer is yeah, then cool. Then by all means, just keep doing what you've been doing, and you're going to keep getting what you're getting, right? But if you're not happy with what you got and where you're going, or where you think you're going to go, like these guys I was talking to over the weekend, they don't want to be average. They want nicer things. They want to not live paycheck to paycheck. They want to be able to help other people, because when you're making good money and you're doing things for yourself, you can actually help other people. And you might want to help other people, but you broke and you can't even help yourself, let alone other people. So when it comes to your health, finances, everything like that, your day-to-day activities, would an average person do that? Make those better decisions, make those better choices, because, not only are you going to help yourself, but the other people around you. And then someone else going to see you grow and develop and making these changes, looking better, feeling better, taking care of yourself better, and that has a trickle-down effect in a really, really good way, Same thing as everything else that you put yourself around that's not good, that actually grows on you too. So anyways, time to go train some jiu-jitsu. Catch you guys on the next one. Ask yourself, would an average person do that? And don't be average. All right, we'll see you. Have a good day.